Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Hello and welcome to Backbone Bites episode 3 with myself, Jimi Longmuir, and my amazing guest, Alexander McNair, aka the Flamboyant Gimp. Still
occasionally.
I've gave introductions and all that before. I'm always really nervous when I do introductions, so I'm just going to launch right into the chat this time because I feel comfortable talking to Alex. He's one of the nicest guys in comedy. He's got a lot to sell you, to sell the viewers. So, how are you doing today, Alec, man?
I'm doing really good.
Excellent, man.
Just awake, no long after the night shift. Crawled out of my bed to come and do this. Glad to be here.
Nice, well, it's glad to have you, man. I'm certainly looking forward to some of the pictures, seeing them, and looking forward to the chat. So, today is the last day of February.
Came up quick.
It's the 29th of February. This is the second 29th of February I've been with Lorraine, and she's yet to give me a marriage proposal. So
you're lucky. Another year I've got past.
All right, I suppose. But so the Glasgow Comedy Festival is fast upon us, man. You've already got one sold out show for the 13th of March.
I think it was one of the quickest ones to sell it at
Yeah,
the venue, and I'm well on the road to getting the second one sold out. I think we'll get about half the tickets done for that.
Excellent, man.
And I've also got the one we're gigging it up.
The roast,
the international
roast,
Old Alliance.
The Griffin with Mark Robertson is going to be on the podcast very soon.
Enemies. Sorry. Scotland versus England. Get yourself down here.
That looks good, man. What day is that again?
It's on the 24th at 8 p.m.
24th, that is
the Sunday.
So, I can't come because I've got the Lincoln Laughs. If you're thinking about weighing up what to go and see the 24th of March, get yourself down to Knightswood.
Well, I'm hoping that it's been Scotland weekend in between the two games.
All right,
Hopefully that'll fill it up and there'll be plenty of Scotland supporters in Glasgow for that.
Just so we can clarify, you're taking no responsible for any violence.
I may join in. You know, if we can find enough
to defend. But So you've got a load of gigs, man. You've got like the Falkirk Wine Library, the Falkirk Comedy Club.
Falkirk Comedy Club. It's now in the Orchard Hotel.
The Orchard Hotel, right.
We've had two, and it's growing.
Well, I'm on the next one, so we'll soon put paid to that.
You'll catch me walking about Falkirk with a big sandwich board. Getting advertised.
Yeah, I seen you were going to do that. Did you do it?
Yes, I did it.
How did you get on, man?
I actually went quite well.
No arrests?
And I had a few people come over. I enjoyed it because people came and spoke to you about comedy because they wanted to.
Yeah.
As opposed to people trying to avoid you when you're handing out flyers on a head down and so it was quite good. Got a laugh at it at least.
Excellent, man, excellent. And you didn't turn up in your work like as a patient the next day.
No. And I'm back again this Saturday.
So just to go at it, you're a psychiatric nurse in a secure unit, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Forensic nurse.
Forensic nurse.
Yeah,
forensic
got
nurse.
the title.
Right. Sorry, man. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you've also got Sketchy Beats fortnightly.
Yes. I kind of took that on. I think I was the first person through the door when Haddon, he makes me call him these days. I call him Mark, but apparently I'm me and his granny are the only two people that are allowed to do that. And he gets annoyed about it. So Haddon set it up originally just after we'd done a course at Edinburgh Fringe, and it kind of ballooned, and there's over 100 people in the
group chat.
The group chat now.
And over 100 messages have been in that group chat since we started talking as well. So
easily. That's the panic bit when you see 100 messages.
I never look at group chats. I've looked and it said 346.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think that one of them was probably me.
I know, but when you're running group chats for comedy with stuff, and it's for booking as well, you ever noticed that you need at least 3 acts? You put in a wee post and then somebody puts in a fucking meme, and that's 246 responses to the meme, and nobody's seen your call out for it.
Well, about that, and I'm trying to do the fundraiser thing because obviously it's a charity. The Sketchy Beats Cafe is a charity run for artists, and I'm trying to do that at the moment. And that's constantly happening. Every time you pop a thing, try to raise a wee bit of money, somebody comes in memeing another way, talking about that. They're no one to contribute to the charity at the moment.
That's probably why it's just deflection.
Oh, definitely.
Short arms and deep pockets comedians. I know, if you believe if somebody's doing it,
If people are doing something for you, and you come and you do the pictures and they're gratefully received and they're used. So if I'm going to use them, you know, a couple of shekels doesn't make much of a difference.
I know, well, you don't pay me much to be fair. No, I'm joking. Honestly, there's a good few times, man, and I never expected, because ultimately, for me, the photographs are for things like this. They're for prints. They're for, I've got a couple of ideas as well that I want to do going forward. So I see the future with the photographs, you know.
I think it's a history of comedy in Glasgow and the surrounding areas, even Edinburgh, history of comedy in Scotland. But I love the photographs. I love being able to take not just what's on stage, what's happening around the stage, outside the venues. And I just love doing it. This is important to me, is the street photographs, you know. But ultimately, it's kind of art. Definitely.
It's more art, and it's punk photography. I know 3 chords, and I'm just willing to make me songs, you know. And there's been times when I've kind of big-ish money's kind of went by me because I'm not technically proficient enough. But I think I'm pretty much where I need to be with it, man. But I've just realised I've spent literally about 20 minutes talking about myself and my podcast. So back to you, man. The photographs I get of you are always so much fun, man. They're like the flamboyant gimp stuff with the pink mask, and obviously Eileen, of course. Yeah, I mean, I actually, you know, wanted to speak to Eileen separately for an hour before the podcast, but you just were not having it, man.
Oh, she's in her box. I keep her in a box at all times.
But okay, man. We'll discuss what to do with Eileen after the recording.
If you'd have put in an application with other 30,000 people, you could have had the first version over when I was getting ready, and moving on to the second version.
Actually, I remember when you said you were hanging up Eileen, and I sent you the Spider-Man No More meme.
Oh, she's a girl.
I just remember at one of the gigs at that, this old woman going, "Is that a rubber fanny?"
It was the bit after that, because I genuinely thought, I'm going to kill more people than COVID here. And, because the whole front row, as you remember that time, it was full of women, and they're 75 upwards.
I know, because I recruited them directly from the bingo there.
There was about 6 or 7 of them there, and I thought, oh, Eileen's a bit too much for them. And we heard that comment.
Is that a rubber fanny?
And somebody said, yeah, it is. And she went, oh, this is going to be good. And it was just a shock.
Speaking of which, you're actually due back there on the 16th of March.
Yes.
And Edinburgh City Football Club, absolutely lovely place, really, really nice crowd. Could be bigger, but so could they all, you know. I just love it in there. They're always so nice. The crowd so appreciate it.
Times in there.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's a really good crowd, and they're always up for a good laugh.
Yeah, man. So that's 16th of March. Tickets only £4 if you order online, £5 from the bar. So why would you go to the bar? You would need to buy them online. That's what you should do. Hint. So we're pretty much coming up for time to get ready to dive into these photographs.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Brilliant, man. This is the first picture, the very first time I ever saw you at Sketchy Beats, I believe.
Yep, that was the second time Eileen had ever been at the box.
That was a classic night.
It went really well that night. It went well, to be fair, the first time, but I'd only ever expected to do it a couple of times. And then that night changed everything, because you asked me
a star was born.
You asked me to do it somewhere, Roddy asked me to do it somewhere, and I think Murdo asked me to come and do it somewhere. So
you need to bring Eileen.
So there was 3 different people booked me, and she never went back in the box again, happily.
I love that picture. I was like, I can't wait to put that in posters, man. Saying to Lorraine, look at this. She's like, what the fuck is that?
It looks like a roast turkey here. The wrong end of the roast turkey. Yeah, it's a great wee venue, I must admit. That was back in its heyday, when there was full of people who were brand new.
So that's another picture. That's Ronnie in the foreground there. Haddon, you were talking about earlier on.
Haddon there. Shubba, who held up all the trams in the whole of Edinburgh last week.
Oh, did he? Aye.
Did you hear that story?
No,
It was in the Daily Record and everything.
Aye.
He was running to his wee gig in the Leith Depot and he parked the car wrong and he was across the line.
Oh.
In 3.5 hours and he came out and went, what's going on here? There was police everywhere. And he went to get in the car and they were like, you're going nowhere, sonny.
Don't tell me they were talking about that in the group chat and I missed it because it was in the 326 messages.
Possibly a wee bit. It was somebody was telling me the other night they would have let him take the car away and he get fined about 300 quid to get the car back.
Alright, so I'm lagging a bit, so you'll need to tell me when your
picture moves on.
Aye.
Yeah, that's it, moving on now.
And what have you got?
We are moving to, me with the mask on. That is I'm pretty sure that's the one.
It's 142B. 142B. Aye.
Well, that was the night a young black guy decided to come out the crowd and grab me because I handed him a cream egg. Which obviously the joke is that you're not very good in bed if you get the cream egg, and I think he'd been imbibing a few substances and he was not happy and he came at me and grabbed me and went, "You talk about me in the bedroom for?"
I don't remember that, man.
No, Graham Conley, quite handily kind of stepped in. It's always handy when you have somebody like that. There's somebody who's I don't
think that was that night. I think it was another night because I don't remember that.
I've only done 142B once.
So. Well, it must have been the same night.
It was over and done with really quickly. The guy sat down really quickly, but he was not happy about getting the cream egg. I must admit, not happy at all.
And that's again 142B.
Yeah.
The Hulk fist, dildo and Eileen.
Yes, that dildo's not Mary's favourite, but it has been.
You don't do props by half. I'll give you that.
It's still a funny connection.
Aye. Actually, I just see the Eileen's blood in the background. It's the blood in the foreground.
It's interesting. I always hate when you go to some place like that and you don't have a mic stand. You know, when you get these mics, and it always takes a wee bit from it. You're trying to balance a dildo in one hand and a microphone in the other hand.
I've actually been going sans mic stand for about 6 months now because mine was rubbish, man. It was one of the bendable bits, and it was more embarrassing to have it than not have it.
You comedians don't have a clue how to work them. I understand that. They're always phoning about all over the place.
Got a 10-second gap here because I've had to resync the audio to the video. I could have filled this space with singing Manamana again, but I think you've heard enough of that in this show.
Change it up again. Oh, that's it. That's the Griffin. That's Gary Lynch tickled with a flamboyant gimp mask. Tell us a bit about the mask.
The mask. I came up with the idea of the flamboyant gimp. I mean, gimps are always in black leather and everything. And I'm famous for wearing very shiny shoes and very strange shoes. And I thought, why not get that going in the top half as well? So I thought, what's the most garish mask you can find? And I managed to find this one.
It's a belter, man.
And it scares the living bejesus out of people, let me be honest with
you. Gary actually made me take a selfie with you in the mask, and I've never been able to find it again. I think I found it once. And I was like, okay, I'll come back and get that, and never got it. But he's pretty annoyed with me for not having his picture with the flamboyant gimp.
Gary does an amazing set about necrophilia. And he came to me and he said, that's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. I thought, how disturbing can my mask be if you're doing a set about necrophilia?
Yes, so, I don't think you performed with me at the Griffin, so we never did any. Here we are, finally, Lincoln Laughs, one of my favourite Lincoln Laughs pictures of all time.
I thoroughly enjoyed doing the Lincoln, I must admit. And it's the place Jesus attacked me.
Yeah, man. Well, there's going to be a picture of that night, but also you're on the 31st of March there as well, the last night of the festival.
Okay.
Yep. I thought at least I've got you booked for it, so.
I am now. I didn't know that, but yeah, that'd be fine. Plenty of time in advance to get that. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's occasionally, I think there was one where the Eileen didn't go down well. There was a group of young foreign students in. And they were aghast and shocked, shall we say. I think there was another comedian on before me as well who had left them. I think
Eileen's in that picture, but she's yet to make her entrance.
She's clothed. And still in. And that's obviously
Lincoln again, man.
Slightly earlier picture. But Lincoln's always a good laugh. And
it's a great room.
some great characters in the crowd always, I must admit.
Well, I was saying that there in one of the podcasts. I think I was saying it back actually both recent podcasts. It's yet to get really, really busy. Although we've had really, really busy nights, but the people that do come are absolutely lovely. You know what I mean? And they're regulars and very supportive, man.
I saw a difference when you moved it from the Thursday to the Sunday.
That was a big difference. We weren't competing with a pub quiz.
They're asking three guys who just buried their dead uncle to get off the pool table.
It's like, would you like to show off your general knowledge, have a laugh with your mates, and maybe win some money? Or would you like to come through here and shut the fuck up and listen to a guy in a gimp mask? And then we'll ask you for money at the end of it. So.
Yeah, we were losing it quite
it's never good for us, but we have to concede pub quizzes are more attractive. And this is the Falkirk Wine Library.
Oh,
yeah.
That was my first venture at doing something myself.
That was a really fun night. It
was a really good venue, but it's very expensive for drinking it.
Aye.
I think the student crowd didn't go there as per se.
Aye.
I think as a comedy, you really have to cater to that crowd.
Totally.
And you hope to get them in. But the venue itself was amazing to look at and everything.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful pictures there, man.
We've all done those ones where you go into rooms and you're competing with the bar and the stuff that's going on, the puggy and the pool table.
And the drug dealer at the puggy.
Yeah. So it's great when you get a room like that that's completely separate, and it was a great wee venue.
I mean, there's an argument to be made that some of the ones that are in the bar are all right if everybody in the bar's expecting comedy.
Yes.
Where it becomes an issue is when you're invading somebody's night.
Yes.
You know, it's another one for Wine Library that I've got up.
That would be the first night.
Yeah, it's the same night.
That was really well attended that night.
It was really good,
man. The best attended one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've seen Gillian Goupil as well, who I've not seen gigging much, but I would like to see more of.
Gillian hasn't done very much lately, because Gillian kind of came on board with me and was helping me to do them. Yeah, she was my poster person.
I've seen Keith Fernandez the first time. I think it was John Puffs on that night, or was that? That's Harry Harry Henderson, Harry He-Man. He's performing right now. Very, very good pal of yours.
I love Harry. He's just. I genuinely thought I was the only prop comedian in Scotland, and then I met Harry and found out there was actually two of us at least.
There must be a way of doing a double act with Eileen in that toilet, but I can't think of a connection.
No, but we are both on together. Scotland's only two prop comedians. We're doing our own gig on the 20th of March.
And there we go, back to the Wine Library.
And this is with the owner. She was fabulous. She was incredibly supportive, I must admit, of having comedy there, and really, really wanted it to work. And we worked so hard to keep that going in there.
She was lovely, man. I've got some really good photographs of her laughing, actually, man.
She really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. What was her name again?
Oh,
I didn't mean to put you in the spot there.
It's gone.
The Falkirk Wine Library lady, she was amazing. We had such a good laugh that we can't remember her name.
I'm drinking energy drinks because I'm trying to get myself awake at the moment still.
Right. Apologies, man.
No, it was a great wee venue, I must admit.
No, it's really nice, man. I like places like that, quirky. They're great for photographs. They really are. Like Granny Gibbs used to have like fake books behind acts and all that. And so here we are at Edinburgh City Football Club. Wait, is that a rubber fanny?
Yeah, that was the night with the rubber fanny questions, yes, and the pensioners. Where it went down amazingly well. I was really, really shocked.
They loved you, man.
Went in and saw the crowd and thought, oh, this isn't going to go well. As I said earlier, I thought, I'm going to kill a load of these people.
Was that the night with Bruce?
Yes.
Right, he was cracking. I absolutely loved Bruce Blackfriars.
I got to see him because we were doing the other gig.
Sketchy Beach, yeah.
Ran away.
And Obi opened as well, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was a really good night.
It was a fantastic lineup. It was an absolutely brilliant lineup.
It was really good, man. It was really strong.
It was one of the first times I had played like the social clubs. And it was a really, really fun night. And the people were really appreciative. Great crowd. I'm looking forward to going back there shortly.
Excellent, man. Well, we've got Lizzie Lineco, Haroon Mashod, a couple of newer acts, and I'll find out in a minute. Another one for Edinburgh City Football Club.
Yep. That was after Eileen had been revealed.
You always get really good ones of them laughing in there, man. They love it, man.
Yeah. And there was a really good crowd behind the older ladies as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Younger ones who absolutely hilarious, and you were able to interact with them and
Yeah,
have a bit of fun with them. Especially some of the younger single guys when you were laughing at them. And their mother was there having a great time looking at them as they were struggling to answer anything that was put to them of a sexual nature. Which obviously Eileen's slightly rude.
Well, are you going to at least bring Eileen to Edinburgh City?
I can if you wish.
I'm not, I might look a bit dodgy in me if I'm insisting on a rubber fanny coming to the gig. Like, people might question my motivation in that, but I will be more than happy to accommodate them. I'm just digging a hole for myself here now, aren't I? Like.
That's my favourite photograph of all time.
I knew that. That's why I put it in.
It's just the way you've caught. Obviously, part of the joke is the Sticky Vicky Benidorm experience, and the shock on people's faces as you realise that Eileen's not just a sex toy, but she's also a magic prop.
Multifaceted.
Multi-something.
No, I really like it. I've used that in the posters as well as a background image.
Yes.
Black and white.
I just absolutely love that photograph, I must admit.
I like it as well, man.
It's possibly my favourite photograph since I came into comedy.
Fantastic, man. That's music to my ears. Man, I think that's definitely one. I'm thinking about getting some comedy ones printed for sale, and that'll be up there. That'll be up there.
I'll buy a couple. That was before the hair get dyed as well, because I look like a blonde person there. Oh, that was me doing the gong show.
Yeah, it was, man. It was Richie McMahon's gong show in the bungalow. I don't think that's the one where I was bitching the box.
No. No. I'm quite proud of it. I mean, I haven't won any of the gong shows, but I've never been gonged off.
You haven't, indeed, man.
So that's 3 down, and I've managed to get through to the final, all 3 of them. So quite happy.
I enjoy doing the bitch in the box, but I hate gong shows. So I've got a bit of a conflict between the fact that I don't like doing gong shows myself because I've confidence issues.
Yeah.
But I've got no problem fucking being the bitch in the box when somebody is doing the gong. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, get that mic, I'll slag them, no bother.
I certainly get people plenty to slag. I'm a fat old man trying to be funny. Yeah, with a stupid mask on.
We were actually both up on stage in there on Sunday night doing ticket giveaways for Toon Titans. 30th of March, 10 quid. And season pass for the Lincoln. And that was a lot of fun. The two of us up on stage, man.
Yep. Oh. Where's this one?
That's the Panopticon.
Panopticon.
Yeah.
I love the Panopticon. I love the idea.
But they weren't ready.
They weren't ready for Eileen, but it didn't help that I don't think it's a place for prop comedy when Eileen's not that big.
Yeah, as you
described,
it's far
away
small,
from the
it's
stage.
Yeah.
View of it. I think much better if
so it's like they take the 10 seconds to screw up their eyes and go,
what is that?
Oh my god, that isn't, is it?
and you're more or less having to tell them what it is.
It's a rubber fan.
And you probably lose something in the telling of it as well. And obviously it's a really big hall. So people up the back, they're never going to see it. Unless they've got 20/20 vision and a pair of binoculars on them.
It's a beautiful venue though. I've always loved the Panopticon.
It's a stunning venue and the history's just amazing.
Aye.
Me trying to go up and down the stairs.
I love that photograph as well with the stairs.
And a pair of slippy shoes. Terrified I was going to make it the funniest bit of the night when I fell down the things. You don't realise how high they are because you're about 8 foot up.
Yeah, I know.
And out the road, so it's the whole venue. I just love the whole story behind it, and so many people don't know. I keep telling people about it because I've read a wee bit about it, and it's just like Laurel and Hardy. Stan Laurel made his debut on that stage.
It's funny, I've never heard that before.
I tell people that one all the time. It's one of my proudest achievements. I've played the same stage as Stan Laurel.
I'm going to tell somebody, guys, just about as old as your set, you can't.
Just about as old as me. Many things are going.
It's an amazing place, man. I love it.
That was afterwards.
Afterwards, aye. So who's there? It's you, D. Maxwell, Kay Van Carsey, Adrian Hanlon, Matthew Cowan. Fuck, I knew I was doing too well. Robin Zatina, Kavita herself, and the immortal Jim Hobbit, and of course me, the biggest picture there.
Yes.
The biggest face there.
That was the first time I had met the Hobbit.
First time you've ever seen him, eh?
He was a very strange wee man, but he was full of fun.
Full of fun. His
really
set's fantastic with props and all that.
It was brilliant, but
but slightly concerning.
Hard to follow. And as a psychiatric nurse, slightly concerning. Yes. It was.
I don't know who that guy with the beard at the back is, man.
I'm not sure who he was at all.
And send out apology to the man with the beard.
I know the rest of them, but I'm not sure who he was.
Yeah.
Robin, I've done a few gigs with Robin lately, and got quite friendly with him.
Robin's great, man. Robin's great. He's on Trigger Warnings, 13th of March. Same time as your show, but you don't need to worry about me poaching punters off you because you're sold out and I'm not. That's the Gong Show. I think that's the one where I was a bitch in the box.
Yeah, I think I probably deserved it there. And
I can't even remember what I said about you, man.
When I had the tash and it looks terrible. I look like a fat
I probably said something stupid. Like, it was a lot better when he performed with a rubber fanny.
Yeah, I'm more like I genuinely look like a fat Hitler there. It's quite scary, man. I'm not doing November again.
No, I'm not having that. It's more like Adonai Tinkle, the Charlie Chaplin character. Yeah. It's essentially Adolf Hitler for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. It's bad. I'm trying to look cool there with the two-tone stuff on as well, a two-tone t-shirt. And it just looks awful.
And the trainees, man. It's a good look.
It's definitely not. I've joined the gym to try and get a bit of the weight off and make these pictures a wee bit better.
I think you knew it wasn't your best look. That's why you wore it for a Gong Show. You needed proof. And there you are again, man. There, such a beautiful room, the bungalow, man.
Oh, it's a cracking big room.
Yeah, man.
Comedy nights are amazing. In there, and it was fantastic when you see it absolutely packed and somebody absolutely killing it.
Susie's absolutely phenomenal, man. She's so good.
Again, I did get through. So I was quite proud of that night. I think though that was the first time I ever had anybody hold up a
card. See my arse goes every time I see one of those cards.
It's quite panicky. I genuinely, I mind did go a wee bit. I was like, stop for a second and carry on, and managed to carry on.
I thought first time I ever done a Gong Show, I went up and said they didn't scare me because I'd been in prison, and immediately somebody shouted out, "I you should be back there now."
My favourite heckle ever wasn't to me, it was the one down in Liverpool when I was getting out the cream eggs and one of the women shouted, "Give me one of the cream eggs up, my man doesn't know how to muff dive, what the fuck."
Again, the Gong Show, man, everybody made it.
Yep. That was the one young Michael one, wasn't it?
It was indeed, deservedly so. He was great.
He was fabulous that night. His answer to the Irish guy who had done the wee bit was just that one of it alone, just at the start.
It's actually fantastic. I've got it as my phone. I can't really see everybody that sells. Keith, Colette Boyd at the end there.
Graham Conley. Some fat guy that looks like Adolf Hitler.
Adonai Tinkle.
I'm not sure who the others are. It was the Irish guy.
That's Keith. It's Keith.
Is that his name?
Keith somebody, yeah.
I've only met him the once. I think Joe Casey was there as well.
Joe Casey was there. I've not gigged with him since, actually. Have you seen him much?
No, he's doing the Old Enemies.
Right. He's English, Newcastle. Yeah.
He was really funny, I must admit.
He was really good, man.
So I'm hoping you'll be able to get a good account of yourself in that.
Back to the Lincoln. That's the night the glass flew off the table.
That was a scary night.
Halloween, of all things.
Yeah, just come up with Halloween and a glass flew off the table. It was because Ray was like, I didn't push that. And I went, I didn't think you did. And I never saw it.
People said it seemed to just jump off the table.
It was the woman behind it. She said, I did the Ouija board when I was like 16 and I have never seen anything as freaky as that since then. It just shot off its speed towards you. And obviously I was doing jokes about Jesus at the time. I was doing my religious section. And this glass flew 4 feet across the air and smashed in the edge of the stage.
Well, fortunately, they had a psychic night like the week after that, so we were able to use that as advertising for the psychic night. Yeah. Ghosts in the Lincoln can confirm.
They are, yeah. Oh, it was just so funny. I think everybody was talking about it for about a week.
That was actually the first Sunday back from the Thursdays, and that was a cracking night. I was like 27 in or something.
I really enjoyed that night, I must admit.
That's a group photo from then. Neil Weeper, Andrew Dunnan, who's been on the podcast, Robin Zatina, Tia Soryanen, Ray Coley, John Purves, Carol Miller, and yourself.
Yep.
And I remembered everybody. Wow. Although, to be fair, I did book all of them. So.
Andrew Dunnan was great that night.
I was, man. We were talking about this before, isn't it? He dropped his glasses. Aye, and I got a good picture of him struggling for his glasses. There's so much time for Andrew. He's such a great guy, man.
And the women.
I never actually mentioned it to Andrew, but I watched the podcast you done with him, and I wasn't feeling too good. And I think I told you this afterwards. Yeah. And it inspired me to get up off Mars and do shit. The next day that I would probably needed to do at the time.
I think that's the thing. People keep saying, "Oh, it's the big secret to psychiatry and all that," and a lot of it is just getting up and getting active and meeting people. I think that's the great thing that I love about this.
And I think this is at the end. Me introducing you on the stage same night, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like that photograph because it's focusing on me. You're like. You only see the back of your head. That's the way all photographs should be, really.
Listen, the back of my head's much preferable to the front of my head than the rest of
no, it's, I wanted to end it in that because that's how I feel about our relationship. Welcoming you to the stage and the joy of watching you perform and grow. And
I've loved the link. Without the link, I wouldn't have met people like Sally Porter and things
Sally's
like
amazing.
Just one of my favourite acts I've ever worked with.
Yeah, she's great, man. She done so good that night as well.
Yes, she was fantastic. Yeah. I'd love to get to Holland and do a gig with her.
Well, I'm thinking about getting some people on Zoom, but that's like that I'll have photographs of from the Fringe and Glasgow Comedy Festival, but that's the only gig I've done with Sally. So, Sally, if you're listening, what I'm saying here is you need to visit Glasgow at least 4 times in the next year, and then you can get on my podcast.
and you need to come and play at Falkirk as well. I definitely would love to have you over there.
Just come for a week. We'll get you enough gigs to get enough photographs to get you on the podcast. And that's us at the end. So,
I enjoyed that.
I had a wee trip through memory lane of the past 3 years. All right, so we'll move on. Alex, we've just looked at the past, we're looking at the future. What does it hold for me? What does it hold for you? Que sera, sera? Deja vu?
I think, again, just for me, it's just about getting up to this show that I'm doing, where I'm doing the solo show, my first ever one, at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, and getting through that, and then trying out this idea of...
It's not your first ever time saying what you just said.
No, it's not. For clearance, we actually recorded this, and it wasn't working.
I think the meat of that is we didn't record. I didn't record this, so we're basically essentially trying to repeat what we just said because listeners, viewers, we have to tell you, we just didn't record the best podcast in human history. And we're absolutely gutted about it, but we were having such a good time having the chat, we decided just fuck it, just go again.
Just carry on, do it all over again. After that, and then the idea I had for the Old Enemies roast battle in international, Scotland versus England, we're gigging it up.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. I think that'll be hilariously good fun as well, and hopefully absolutely packed out on the night.
Definitely, man. It's such a good room. You done so many shows there last year. You were in Raw Comedy.
I did Wrong Comedy and The Good, Bad and Irish.
Right.
Where I almost killed the guy. When I came out with a mask on, he was an RUC officer. And he thought a gay provo was coming for him.
I seen Carol Spain supporting Kevin Bridges last year, and he was doing a bit about the Belfast gay pride parade. Have you seen that?
No.
And he's like, they've got a float. The gay pride float.
Well,
it was probably going to get death threats, but fucking.
No, death threats is what's coming to me. I'm doing a wee course with Obi, trying to develop a wee bit of clean material.
Right.
Add in there, and I have a large part of that is set about the troubles in Ireland.
Always good for a laugh.
A good quiet subject, a nice easy subject for a wee chat on a Sunday evening. So we'll see how that goes.
I think I seen Paul McDaniel talk about one of those last week when it was the joke about he had to leave the cinema because it was scheduled to be blown up by
There's actually, to be fair, there's been a couple lately that I've watched and they've been really, really funny. I must admit.
That's a subject I don't think I could ever look at. like in terms of getting in about the humour, because I just don't know enough about it, man.
Yeah.
I think you have to be from that culture to really talk
I
about
don't
it.
know. I'm coming at it from a very unique angle,
Yeah.
I must admit. So, coming Sunday night, see us in the tennis lounge if you want to see a new take on the Troubles.
Or on Sunday night, which will be past by the time you watch this anyway, you can go down to Rumbongo and see me. Only 6 or 7 doors down. Like,
But if the Troubles is...
this isn't actually a podcast, right? What this is a weigh-in
It's just
for the Battle of Byers Road.
Yeah, that's where the pictures.
That's why we've got Scottish box and stuff there, man.
Yes.
I've just decided this one's better. I'm
This is our
glad
Troubles.
I fucked up the recording the first time.
This is one of our own Troubles in this room.
So I will talk about the Fringe as well, man. Like how last year was your first kind of full year doing the Fringe.
Yeah, I think I done 16 shows. Should have been 17.
Yeah.
And we spoke earlier when you asked me if I had performed. And
I will say that I had been part of that show that you were due to perform at, and I was no longer there when it didn't go ahead.
You weren't.
I was again pending court cases. Can't talk about that.
I just turned up 7 or 8 comedians sat in the room looking at an empty audience.
Yeah. I mean, but I was there was the lowest number we had was 1. I think.
I feel quite good now because the lowest I had at my show was 4, which wasn't bad. And by the end, as I said before, we were getting 3/4 a room, which was decent. Which was very decent.
It's a great place for comedy. Leith. When you go down Leith Walk now, you can just feel it's a great place. You know.
Hopefully that comedy Fringe element of it builds and builds and builds, and it does.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the Fringe is by its nature expanding every year, always has. You know. I mean, there was obviously a couple of years ago, the pandemic stopped it altogether, and then there was the Fringe that happened, but definitely did happen. The Fringe that never happened, that definitely did happen in 2022, that we all remember being there, but apparently there wasn't a Fringe. And we're like, just because you didn't make it up from London, motherfucker, doesn't mean that we weren't here entertaining home crowds. We were in the trenches, man. That's where I first met like Bob Walsh and Masai Graham and Alex Leam and Alex Pepe on loads of shows as well, man. All ever since been really great supporters, and I've got some fantastic photographs of all of them, so hopefully get all of them on as well.
I think as a callback there to your next guest in your next podcast when it comes out, the Graham Mackey one, which everybody should watch because he's a legend.
Absolute
legend. He came on to help me out in a couple of the shows that we did in the Depot when we had some call-offs. Because obviously it was in the middle of COVID season again, everybody seemed to be dropping their flies, and Graham came on, and I must admit we had the hardest audience ever, even Graham had said that, and it was quite a packed crowd that night, and the problem that night was we couldn't get Graham off, and he was adamant he was staying on until he got a fucking laugh.
Well, actually, he was there the night with the one guy. And so it's when you see me talk about it on stage, where it turns out the guy wasn't even an actual audience, he was a fucking act.
That's right, he was an actor. Just
he's an actor at the show before us, and I seen him the next day, and I'm like, are you here for the show? And he's like, no, I've just finished mine. And I'm like, this really is real life.
This is a low ebb.
This is well, in the Flight of the Conchords, man, the guy's like, this is a new low.
Yeah. I think
but we all need those Fringe stories of just the most mental thing you could possibly imagine, and the Fringe is the place for it. Actually, not on this podcast, but on Andrew Dunnan's podcast, he said that he couldn't go to the Fringe because of his mental health. The Fringe is made a bad mental health. That's where you lose it so bad that you recover. You go full circle.
Is that the equivalent of drinking too much alcohol and you drink yourself sober?
Pretty much, yeah. But it's weird with the top of the Fringe again, because the Fringe is like a 24-hour city, essentially. But I never see that far past midnight. I always make sure I come home.
Yeah, I think I live close enough that I can always get home as well. I think I miss out and stuff because I live so close as well, because I am nicking away to come home.
See, I feel that. A couple of times I felt as if I'm missing out and stuff, but what I'm gaining is my fucking bed.
What's that?
Which I need.
Well, I make a point of driving across, so I'm sober and I actually remember the acts. You know, because I hear so many people, you know, say to me, "Oh, I saw, who did I see? I can't remember now. I was blittered. It was 2 a.m. You know, we were in a tent in the middle of the Gorgie Park somewhere."
But I think for me, the way I approach it is 12 hours a day, and I'm sober. I stay sober, and I actually celebrate my anniversary. You call it your birthday, I guess, when you're in recovery, during the Fringe. And I never do the thing where you put on Facebook, that's me 3 or 4 years clean, because I cannot be fucked with comedians coming up to me all day congratulate me on my clean time, because that's what I should have been doing in the fucking first place anyway. It's like the Chris Rock bit where he's talking about people bragging about taking care of their kids, and he's like, that's what you're supposed to do, you stupid motherfucker. Like, so
I don't do that. I don't like that, but taking care of the kids,
but it's, you know, to me, I mean, I've been sober 4.5 years now, completely sober. I mean, the last time I relapsed, it was only like weed and ecstasy and Xanax, which is actually a wee bit of a laundry list when I think about it. But I don't see the point in counting the days like Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, I think when you get to years, you know, and you probably are past that. I can understand at the beginning.
But I mean, I'm never past the issues that are part of recovery, you know.
No, that'll never go.
But I even struggle going to meetings and things, because it's like I never wanted to hang about with junkies when I was on the exact same drug as them. Like, I mean, never mind going and reading scripture that I don't fucking care about.
As being somebody who worked in these places, because I worked with alcohol and drugs at a certain area, and it's hilarious how they have hierarchies.
Aye.
You know, and you know, like with heroin users being at the very bottom of that hierarchy, you know, and it was like depending on what drug you were on. You know, it's like, you know, I'm bad, but I've never done that. You know, but I'm below that one there. It was just taking the diazepam off the doctor kind of thing, and then the alcoholics were above them again.
Get a bit too into that Nurofen. I'm not a junkie.
And then you got the alcoholics, you know, and then you got the ones that were drinking methylated spirits, that they were at the bottom, you know, right up to the wine drinkers. Just came in after work and had a wee bottle here, you know, and it developed into a problem at the very, very top. So I know exactly what you mean when you didn't want to hang about, because even when you go into these places to work, there's whole groups, they just section off into different groups. They're kind of in my kind of group.
Well, I mean, when I first went to like kind of in recovery, like I first went to some groups and things, I remember sort of almost being, people looked down their nose at me because I didn't have a proper habit. Like, it was, when I first realised I had a problem with drugs and things, it was like with ecstasy, coke, speed, hash, at the time we were calling it polymorphous drug use, you know, and it's like, you don't know what that's like until you've actually got a habit and all that. But fortunately, since then, I've had a proper habit. So I could maybe go back to 2002 and join that club if I wanted. Let's discuss that habit every day.
You have a new habit in comedy.
In podcasting and photography and not turning.
It can be equally ecstatic at times and equally as downplayed as well.
But I think that's why we do it. I've talked about this with Mackie last time as well. The chaos. The chaos is beautiful.
The chaos and the buzz.
The buzz, man.
Telling me you have a good night is some of the best nights you'll ever have when it works.
Absolutely.
You know, and I can think back to specific gigs where everything's went right, and you know, the crowd's been perfect, and everything that I've managed to do has went down well, and oh my god, the buzz off of that's just phenomenal.
Yep.
I've seen myself walk off stage with a joke to go because I got such a great reaction. I joked near the end, and you thought, I'm not topping this, I'm out of here. Good night, everybody.
And speaking of topping this, we've actually managed to come to the end again, and I think, looking at that over there, I see red. I think it's recorded this time, mate. So, let's again find out, for the first time, what song you would like for the slideshow.
I would like the Cramps.
That's a major surprise to me. The Cramps, what was the title of the song again?
The title of the song was Most Exalted Potentate of Love.
Most Exalted
Potentate of Love.
Potentate of Love. And
from the Smell of Female album.
From the Smell of Female album, and we're going to try and get that on your slideshow to advertise this podcast, which you will already have seen because it will have brought you here. And thank you very much, and good night again.
Mana mana do 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 do. Mana mana do 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 do. Mana mana do 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 do.